My president met President Trump 4 times in a very short period of time, by the way. We engaged at the highest level. And if your guest from Israel go back to the record, I was on the record in the U.S. media saying that, Kushner being part of the family might not be bad news. We need somebody who's close to the president. We have engaged at the highest level. We were transparent, positive, hopeful, engaging. I myself arrived to Washington to engage the Trump administration at the instruction of the president at the very highest level. And in fact, I had to prepare immediately for the arrival of President Abbas to Washington shortly after I arrived, which was May 2017. And every meeting, President Trump agreed with my president on every major point, including a two-state solution in the 1967 borders, including the Arab Peace Initiative and normalization after a political solution, including the issue of Israel has to abide by certain rules. However, all this started to happen because this has nothing to do with policy or international resolutions or the long-held U.S. Policy. This has to do with personal favors, personal interests, and personal ideologies. And let me start with the last. Personal ideologies. He might be, that is Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of the president, but he is also somebody who is historically known for his relationship with Netanyahu. Netanyahu keeps bragging about sleeping in the bed of Kushner when Kushner was a child. We know the history of the Kushners and the Netanyahus for the last 30, 40 years. We know the history of Friedman, the ambassador to Israel, and he is directly involved, implicated in the illegal settlement enterprise. He is bragging and happy about his contribution to the settlements. And Greenblatt, his own siblings now and his own sons are living in an Israeli illegal settlement inside the West Bank. And go back to the vested sort of favors. This is about Netanyahu helping Trump in the American election via Sheldon Adelson. We know that. And this is about Trump helping Netanyahu in the Israeli elections. In this whole game of deceit we are witnessing, we are not interested to waste our time.
Do you have a partner for peace in the US? Is the US a reliable partner for peace for the Palestinians?
No, not this team. This team has been backstabbing the Palestinians from day one. And by the way, they closed the office I used to head, the embassy in Washington, right at the height of our engagement with them and that hopeful moment. So they are not interested to talk to us. By the way, they don't see us as a people. That's why they would close our diplomatic mission, and they would close the Consulate General, the U.S. Consulate General in Jerusalem that was there since 1844, long before all this, as a key contact between the U.S. people and government and Palestine. Doing all that, closing our embassy, the U.S. consulate, giving Israel Jerusalem, refugees, settlements all of a sudden are not illegal and not an obstacle, the issue of borders, giving them the Golan Heights, and only 3 days ago the national security, Bolton, was in the Jordan Valley telling Netanyahu they would endorse his control of the strategic reservoir, the most important fertile area that we rely on to build our state, and then they tell you the Israelis are happy now, we can make peace. What peace? There's nothing left for us, and it's all about keep feeding the Netanyahu's grocery list, if you may, for actually winning elections. That's all about it. And we wonder, maybe Netanyahu is running out actually of items from the Palestinian pockets. He took everything in advance from Trump. Perhaps for the people meeting in Bahrain, maybe, and I'm not joking here, Netanyahu will seek now some sort of a control of El Bahrain as an early warning site or something, because that will help him in the elections. Now, I'm not being very serious here, but this is an example of how things are going in this relationship between Netanyahu and Trump and his team, and we Palestinians have to accept and have to engage at any cost. No, we know we can build a thriving economy. We know we have all it takes to do so. By the way, we have one of the most educated, youthful society in the world. We have the highest PhD per capita graduates. Only last week, I brought here to the UK 16 entrepreneurs, startups. They made shockwaves in the UK wherever they went with their innovation, ability, smart ideas in the business. We don't lack the human capital. We don't lack the natural resources. We don't need Kushner to give us a business plan. We need him to just end this occupation and leave our business and economy to ourselves.